Hey guys, Dr. Justin Marchegiani here. Today we're going to be talking about a carnivore diet, my experience on a carnivore diet for 1 week, as well as my wife's. I'm going to talk about the pros and cons, the benefits of it, and how you can transition off that carnivore diet if you are getting great results and to continue getting great results. I'll put comments down below. Love to see it. And again, if you enjoy the video, give me a thumbs up and a like as well. So benefits of a carnivore diet. First thing is if you're sensitive to any anti-nutrients in the plants, salicylates, phenols, oxalates, being carnivore, you're cutting out any potential plant anti-nutrients. So if those are sensitive at all to you, joint pain, maybe you have history of kidney stones, UTIs, weird muscle pains, there could be some autoimmune inflammation, and sometimes those anti-nutrients in the plants, the lectins, the salicylates, the phenols, the oxalates, could be problematic. Also, you're essentially on an autoimmune template. You've cut out the grains, the legumes, the dairy, the nuts, the seeds, the nightshades, and the eggs. So you're essentially paleo autoimmune, and you've also cut out all the fermentable foods. So you're essentially low FODMAP too. So if there's a lot of chronic gut or bloating issues, you're cutting out a lot of the fiber that could feed some of that dysbiotic bacteria in your gut. So you're getting some benefits there. Now, my experience on 1 week, day in the life looked like this. My breakfast was pretty much the same. I still did coffee. I did a tablespoon of butter, tablespoon of MCT oil. Those fats are typically okay. And I did 20 to 30 grams of collagen, beef-based collagen in my coffee, blended it up. That's my breakfast. It's been that way for over a decade. Really good. Very little carbohydrate, lots of healthy fats, good proteins. I love collagen because it's a connective tissue amino acid. You only really get it in knuckles and the skin on the animals. And if you don't get that, then it's just going to be poor building blocks for your hair, for your nails, for your skin, and for your joints. So I love that. It's easy, simple, it just plugs into an easy breakfast routine. My lunch would typically be either a steak. I would do sometimes some tuna fish with like an animal-based oil, or I would do eggs and bacon or eggs and sausage for breakfast. That was an easy one. So pretty simple. I mean, there's not a lot to think about. If I got hungry at all, I typically did not get hungry. I found with eating just animal-based protein and fat nonstop and nothing else, there was a little bit of a low-grade nausea, which I didn't even think about food. I didn't even want to eat because that low-grade nausea was there. I found at dinner time, I did a steak, usually a ribeye steak, or if I did a top sirloin, anything a little bit more leaner, I would put a pat of butter on top of it, 1 to 2 pads, just like really thin. And that was wonderful. The fat really was satiating. The protein was really good. I did miss my veggies. I mean, I do love having like some steamed broccoli or some steamed green beans. I don't have any autoimmune inflammation with vegetables. I felt really good with the extra veggies previously, getting the potassium and some of those micronutrients. So I did miss it, right? So for me, I don't necessarily get the full benefit of the carnivore diet because I didn't go from carnivore. I wasn't coming from a lot of processed food or a lot of processed sugar. So I did miss some of my veggies. I did miss that fiber. One of the big things is that your stools will cut in half. They won't nearly be as robust and they won't nearly be as, per se as regular, right? So out of the gate, lunch was like bacon, eggs. Dinner was usually a steak. And then my breakfast was my collagen butter on rinse and repeat. And I really had no hunger pains at all. I would do a little bit of a decaf espresso with a healthy fat in there at night. And that was it. I lost 5 pounds in 1 week. Pretty effortless. I did find just a little bit of low-grade nausea. I did have a little bit more fatigue. Now, what I've learned from this, I just transitioned to this. Here's how I transitioned. My nighttime snack would be like some unsweetened coconut yogurt and some fresh berries in it with some cinnamon. I love that. Didn't do it. I did miss that. Every now and then I maybe do like a little bit of almond butter with some Granny Smith apple and cinnamon. Do love that. And I do love having some veggies at a meal. Like my typical meal like today, for instance, was 1 to 1.5 cans of tuna with an avocado-based mayo. So usually it's an avocado oil, single sourced with some pickles. Usually avocado oil, it's avocado oil with egg in there. And then I did some pickles and some cut up vegetables, and that's it. So that was a great meal, and avocados themselves, and that was a great meal. Really simple, good protein, good fats. Where I did really great on the carnivore diet was cutting all carbs. I found that I was probably consuming a little bit too much carbs. So the big learning experience was lunchtime is going to be lower carb at lunch. Breakfast is already very low carb. Lunch will go even lower, and then dinner, will typically be meat and a veggie, and then I will adjust the starch based on my activity level. If I worked out, I'm doing a lot, then maybe I'll add a little sweet potato or a little squash in there, or I'll add a little bit more of a fruit. And so that's kind of my adjustment. I'm still losing. I've lost about maybe 7 6, 7 pounds in the last week and a half or so. My wife has lost 10 pounds, so she's done really good. Now, based on her age and where she's at, she's moving in a little bit more of an insulin resistant pattern. So her restricting carbs has really caused her to lose a lot of water. I mean, just last night it was a birthday dinner for her, and we had some rice and a little bit of sourdough bread, and that little bit more carb caused 3 pounds increase the next day. With me, it was only a quarter pound. So there's a lot of insulin there that caused a lot of fluid retention. You don't gain 3 pounds of weight in one meal. It's the high spike of insulin, which then causes that fluid retention. So for her, she's benefiting just from the fact that it's making it easy. It's making it simple in her brain of what to eat, what not to eat. That's one of the biggest benefits that I find if someone is insulin resistant and they are like, well, what do I eat? Recipes, it's like, it's this. You do this in the morning, you do your coffee collagen, or you do your eggs and bacon, you do a steak at lunch, or you can do some chicken thighs with skin on at night. Like, you keep it really simple. So that's one benefit, is the simplicity. Number two, if you are used to eating more carbohydrates, now you're eating almost nothing. So you do get a big benefit from that drop in insulin. And you are going to be satiated. I mean, that protein and fat is going to make you satiated. You will miss a little bit of food sometimes. So my biggest thing was, all right, what did I learn? I'm keeping the carbs down in the afternoon. I'm still getting a good benefit. I'm still having a steady weight loss. Like for me, I want to get down to 210 is a good fighting weight for me. I'm 6'2", starting off like 223, 224. Right now I'm at 218-ish, so I'm down like 6, 7 pounds, and it oscillates. So I'll get to like 210 in the next, hopefully, 2 weeks. And so I'm just doing lower carb afternoon, lower carb in the afternoon. I'm adding my interval training in or resistance training in accordingly. And I go lower carb with my lunches, and my dinners, I will adjust the carbs. And I've been testing my blood sugar more. And when I was more carnivore, I was down consistently below 100 within 2 hours easily. And so I noticed when I went and added a little bit more fruit or like a little bit more starch at lunch, my blood sugar would take longer to get down. It would take 3 hours. And so now I'm using my blood sugar guide. By dropping the carbs, I'm watching that blood sugar get down below 100 inside of 2 hours consistently. So I'm using my blood sugar meter and doing that functional glucose tolerance guide. Again, this is my Keto Mojo. Links up to Bluetooth, graphs it, really nice. justinhealth.com/keto, KATOMOJO. Link down below. That's the Amazon link if you want to get it. It's a great one. That's a great way of objectively quantifying your work and seeing how your blood sugar is doing. If you drop insulin, you drop sodium and your electrolytes. You also drop your water that follows it, right? For 1 gram of glucose, you have 3 grams of water. So big drop of water. Plus, it's very hard to be burning fat when you have high levels of insulin. High levels of insulin turns off hormone-sensitive lipase. Hormone-sensitive lipase is low. It decreases your body's ability to burn fat. So big benefits out of the gate. Dropping water weight, dropping fat, right? You're never really hungry. There's a low grade of nausea for me. Steaks and ribeyes were absolutely key. Adding a little bit butter on it was absolutely key. It gave me something to look forward to at the end of the day. So if you're getting bored on it, keep that steak at the end of the day is a good option. If I did have any issues during the day, I would add in bone broth for extra electrolytes and just something to put in my mouth that just kind of had a nice relaxing feel to it. And I would get extra electrolytes from that. So bone broth with extra electrolytes. I would also drink mineral water throughout the day and add in some electrolyte support, some extra potassium, magnesium in there too. So those are great little keys that you can do out of the gate. Who is this diet for? If you're incredibly insulin resistant and you don't want to think, great diet. If you have a lot of autoimmunity and a lot of chronic inflammation, chronic gut stuff, it's a great diet to transition to and start with. You may do good transitioning off of it to a paleo lower FODMAP or even an autoimmune template where you start to add other foods in. And then if you get benefits and you want to keep those benefits going, what does that mean? So for me, I look at a modified carnivore, right? So I do like more of a carnivore type of meal in the morning. I do a very keto low carb meal at lunch, and then I'll adjust my meal at dinner time based on my activity level. So I'll primarily lean to a paleo ketogenic diet and then adjust carbs or adjust anything else based on activity as well. And so I try to look at it and just say, where do I feel the best? And I just try to adjust those levers on my macros, make sure the nutrient density is super high, right? With carnivore, if you're eating good, healthy, grass-fed meats, pasture-fed eggs, you're going to be right there. Good quality bacon, you're going to be right there. You can also supercharge it by adding in extra organ meats too is a great option. I take organ meats every day in supplement form, but you could also add it in that as well. So if you get benefits, it's because you're reducing inflammation, from other potential bad foods, and you're reducing insulin. All right, so my wife did really well based on her age and where she's at. She's doing, I think, excellent. I think she's reducing her carbohydrates even more, and it's just making it easy for her to follow. It's very much not that stressful because she knows exactly what to do. But I've kind of told her, when you transition off, let's move you to a more keto paleo and then do the same thing. Keep that lunch and breakfast really tight. Keep that ketogenic fat burning throughout the day, and then adjust the carbs in the afternoon based on your activity level. So she's on top of that and doing that really well, and down over 10 pounds. So she's keeping it up. And when she went backwards, she had that big bump in fluid retention, and that should drop in a day or two by just getting the diet back to where it needs to go. So again, this is Dr. J. Hopefully I answered all your questions. Any more support at all, and you want to dive in deeper and work on a carnivore diet, let's say you have chronic gut or inflammation issues and you want to go deeper, there'll be a link down below where you can reach out to my staff for more support of that. All right, guys, take care. Hope all is well. Bye now.